Buddy, happy Sunday to you. I hope that you enjoyed your day. I've had a very productive day and now I'm settling down. So I'm getting into my YouTube and my feeds. And I'm just looking at the opinions of regular people. I'm tired of listening to the media pundits whine about the outcome of the election. So for me, I am like, let's hear what regular people are saying about it. So I caught this blog and shout out to the Broken Traditions podcast. He is interviewing a black woman who is explaining why some, and I like to try not to generalize groups over here, why some black women internalize Kamala Harris's loss. And I think, we can all agree that Kamala Harris's loss was a devastation for some people for political reasons, other people for more social reasons. And so this woman is talking about the social reason why some black women internalize Kamala's loss. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I listened to this woman kind of talk about her reasons, and it was a word salad. It was a big word salad. And I'm starting to feel like the word salad is really the way for people who can't really articulate their feelings or the rationality of their feelings. So they just start babbling. I think that's what it is. So I'm going to get into this and I'm going to cut through. And like I said, shout out to the Broken Traditions podcast for doing this interview. But I just think some of the reasonings that these women are glorifying, Kamala Harris and even the loss, it's just really convoluted and it's kind of just perplexing to me. So here we go. And I give you my perspective.
Our history. So, going from us being raped, sexually abused during slavery, and you got Jim Crow, you got just all the whole, black men getting, locked up, black men not in the home, black women sometimes not wanting the men to be in the home so they can get, the checks. And, so you have this very chaotic history. And I think, even leading through feminism and black women, working hard and wanting respect for how hard we work and, wanting to divest and date white men, all of these things.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. Because again, this is a word salad. Girl, your braids are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And welcome to everybody. Welcome everybody to the live stream. I'm going to stop it here because, first of all, this woman says that one of the reasons why she internalized Kamala Harris's loss was because of the history, the black history. Okay. I want you guys to keep this in mind, right? She's saying because of black history and what she perceives black people as going through in America, Kamala Harris's loss was devastating for her, right? She talks about the black men being locked up. And then she even talks about even divesting and dating white men. Now I'm a little confused, right? I'm very confused because you talk about slavery, you talk about the history, and then you talk about black women divesting from black men and wanting to date white men. So this is a big word salad already for me. And it off the bat, it doesn't really equate quite right. So this is what she's saying.
And black women, working hard and wanting respect for how hard we work and, wanting to divest and date white men, all of these things. And I think at the end of the day, we look at it like, we're the quote workhorse and America owes us because of our history and everything that we.
So if we're going to kind of take her logic here, Kamala Harris should have won because America owes black women, even though Kamala Harris is not black. She's Jamaican and Indian. She's a product of immigrants, not a product of freemen. All right. So there's that, and she's admitting that, right? So this is a weird. This is the to me. I feel like either people on the Democratic side are double talking demons, or they truly don't know what the f they are saying half of the time. I don't know what it is, but this shit is contradictory to me on so many different levels. Her response.
We've done, and it's like, where's so now you have Kamala, who kind of comes out of nowhere and who never really says that she's black. I mean, that's a whole thing. She never really identified.
Yeah, she did. Like Kamala Harris, sometimes you don't have to say you're something. You can kind of act like you're something. But in Kamala Harris's case, she was working hard for that black vote. So she even was on interviews saying that my mother raised two strong black women. And she even said, I am a black woman. It took her a while to say it, but she finally had to double talk and say it because the earpiece told her, look, just go ahead and say you are. There's a whole segment of black people who believe that you are.
As like, she says a lot of things. She says she's an AKA. She says she went to HBCU, but she never really said that I am black, or at least I'm a black American, or not. And she's not. I mean, she's definitely not black American, but I don't even think she's ever solidly identified.
Okay, stop. So this black woman is even saying she's not a black American. Like, she is making this disparity that she is not a black American. She doesn't come from our lineage. She doesn't come from, our history in America. She doesn't come from that. She is a beneficiary of those things, right? So this woman is admitting this, right?
Black. But for whatever reason, we see her as our hope. We're like, okay, this represents hope. This represents all the things that we've been through. Now, finally, we can rest our...
How could Kamala Harris represent all the things that Black Americans have gone through if her people were not really... They didn't really go through that. She's not a representative of chattel slavery. She's just not. Her people are not a representative of chattel slavery in America at all. I really don't understand where either these people don't know their history, or they don't know what they're talking about, or they're double talking demons, or a combination of all things. But this woman is not making a lot of sense. As a foundational black woman, I did not see myself in Kamala at all. I just didn't, right? The only thing that I could relate to her is her ambition. I do respect people who are ambitious, and she obviously was an ambitious woman. You can't really be a woman that old with no kids, devoid of ambition, right? And obviously that's a whole other conversation, but still, as a black woman, I did not see myself in Kamala Harris. I don't even see myself in Maxine Waters, right? I mean, I don't see myself in these politician people. I just don't. And it's sad for anybody that do.
This woman,
because being in American politics, having a seat at that demonic table is nothing to write home about these days. These people are evil.
America owes us, black men owe us our jobs.
What do black men owe black women? I mean, I don't understand this at all. This woman, like I said, this is a word salad. And that's just why I said, these people, I don't really understand, like, just the correlation of some of this stuff. I just really don't. I just don't.
Everybody owes us. So now she's going, and be clear, she actually said she wasn't going to save us. She said pretty clearly she's not really going to do anything for black people.
So this woman is saying, Kamala Harris said clearly that she wasn't going to do anything for black people. She wasn't going to save us. And yet you people some of you ladies saw yourself in this woman. You saw her as the great black looking hope for black women. You didn't mind that this immigrant, especially if you're a black American woman, you didn't mind that this immigrant descendant was taking Freeman flowers. You didn't care about that. You just saw a black looking face and you went, wow, oh, she's from the HBCUs. Oh, she's for us, right? They keep giving these people our flowers and you people don't even, like, y'all just, I don't know what the hell is wrong with some people. Y'all just
But
don't
for
get
whatever
it.
reason, we still want to look at her as our hope. And so then when she lost, we take it like it's personal
I
because
mean, are you guys listening to this woman? Are you guys listening to this woman? She's saying she's not black. She never said she black. She never said, she said she wasn't going to do anything for us. She said that she wasn't going to save us. She said Kamala Harris is saying these things, and yet she said,
save us. She said pretty clearly she's not really going to do anything for black people. But
Yeah.
for whatever reason, we still want to look at her as our hope. And so then when she lost, we take it like it's personal because again, this feeling of somebody owes us something. And for me, I never look at any, and this is just in general in life. I don't look at life through a lens of, I don't think people owe me anything. You know, I think I need to work hard. I need to prove myself. Now, granted, again, there is reparations, and there's an argument to be made that is something that we are owed. But we've been over 400 years, like we're not getting it. So that is going to be my first point as far
America
as why black
has
women
never
take it
really
personal,
cared too much
because they're
about
looking at it from a
giving
standpoint
penance
of
to black
they're
people.
deserving of this. Never mind the fact that the person, Kamala in this case, doesn't even really identify, in my opinion, I don't think she even really identifies with black women the way they identify with her. You know what I mean? I think she said a lot. She's, you know, she tried to align herself with black women, but the reality is she could never admit what Barack Obama was able to admit, because that's another thing. I think black women are like, well, Obama was able to do it, so they want to make it like it must be a gender thing, because it's like, well, if he was able to do it, why not her? But you have to understand that he did it in a different way. One, he did align with the black community. He wasn't afraid to say he was black. He had a black wife. You know, he did a lot of other things that made the community more comfortable. Yeah. And the times were different. You got to look at, he knew how to read.
I'm not really sure where this woman is coming from, you know, because it seems like I'm not sure if she's making an assessment about black women or if she's kind of part of that fold. I don't know. But I will say that, you know, from my point of view, I believe that there is a certain segment of black women who have internalized Kamala Harris's loss because obviously, number one, they're part of the Democratic plantationary thinking, meaning that they have been conditioned to believe that Democrats are their beneficiaries, that they will have their best interests in mind, and that they care more about people of diverse backgrounds, right? Because they've made themselves the party of all these different faces of people so that all different types of faces of people can feel safe in their demonic hub. But, you know, I think that Kamala Harris personified for some black women what could be, you know? And like I said, my kid's dad, he is a staunch Democrat. He voted for Kamala Harris, and he had our daughter thinking that she, you know, could, you know, it was because she was a woman, and he thought, and he accepted her as a black woman, right? And so it was a lot of people sort of geeking their child up for this possibility, and even geeking themselves up for this possibility that a Kamala Harris being in the White House would create some radical change in America, right? But we see that even Barack Obama was not able to create that radical change. If anything, from a race relations standpoint, I believe that America got worse under Obama. People became really hyper conscious of race, and it only got worse under Trump, you know, because you went and inflamed the POCs, and then Trump turned around And, with his base and rhetoric, he inflamed some of these touch white folks, and I said some for the passionately ignorant who can't comprehend. But, I say this to say that, this is a lesson to be learned, though, for a lot of people in general, but especially Black people. These people are beacons. They sell these beacons that kind of look like you or may look like you, obviously, to make you believe that they're on your side. But the reality is, Kamala Harris was a puppet. She was a Black puppet that was used basically to replace Biden in a botched, campaign or a botched nomination. But that is just to say that it's just really interesting that anybody is internalizing the loss of these political candidates to, themselves, right? Because no matter which candidate is in office, Kamala has been vice president, right? And she really hasn't did shit for Black women specifically, I don't think. I haven't seen anything profound she's done for Black women, um, or Black people for that matter. I don't see anything she was championing. She was too busy just going along to get along with all these foreign wars and spending billions on a bag of BS. So, I say this to say I pray for everybody. I believe in God's kingdom. So, I don't really necessarily find it, you know, crucial for me to um, internalize any of these people. And that's just me. But there was another thing that caught my attention, and everybody's always saying everything shouldn't be about race. Let's just stop talking about race. And it's like, again, I really wish we could stop talking about race. But you have so many people who are inflamed with race, they keep bringing it up, right? And they not only are they bringing it up, they're addressing specific race groups. Now, apparently, somewhere between somewhere, and I did a video on this, post election, some Black people are rethinking their alliances. And according to a lot of the Black Democrats, after they saw the election results, they did not feel like there was a coalition as much as they thought it was. Black women were very infuriated by their Hispanic counterparts and even some of their white counterparts who seemed to have placed their vote with Donald Trump this time around. And they didn't like that. I actually heard one sister saying, there is no coalition. There is no coalition, right? And I've also seen videos of Black Democratic women who are very upset about this election outcome. And these are the Black Democratic women that felt so comfortable with doing videos on divesting from Black men. They were doing videos on Black women should be giving these white men a try, right? And these are the same women now that Trump has won who are saying that they will slap any Black woman that they catch with a white man. So the double talking demons and the flip flopping is just, the game is so real. I do believe the Democratic Party is comprised of the people of the mentally ill. And I understand why they work so hard to normalize mental illness in society, because many of their people and their base are truly mentally ill. But off of that, these women are now going back to Black men, which is kind of interesting too, that because now that Trump won, I saw another Black woman saying that we need to give conservative men a try. These bitches are all over the place, right? So conservative, Democratic, white men, I don't know if you guys should really trust us, because we're kind of flip-floppy. Depending on who wins the election, we might drop your ass like a bad habit, some of us. So be careful of digging up some of our sisters, right? Stay with the immigrant ones. Anyways, this white woman is perplexed right now, and she wants to know something, and she's specifically addressing black women. Now, when people talk about, don't talk about race, and don't do this about race and stuff like that. I wish that they would tell their people to stop addressing black people, right? We'll be just minding our own business, and here they are perplexed about just whatever they're perplexed about. And I'm like, what is that? I'm all just like, why do y'all keep addressing black people? Like, we won't talk about race or nothing if y'all just stop addressing us. But again, check out that Google, the history of the black vote, and look at that picture. Look at that paper. It's an academic paper came out of the University of Maryland, and they're talking about how black people have went back and forth in their voting patterns for years, and it's really I think it's an indication that black people really aren't that loyal. We really aren't that loyal. We're all about who's going to benefit our pockets the best. And that paper was interesting because it talks about how the black vote have been so coveted by these political parties over the decades. And so when people talk about black people don't have any influence, black people don't have any say in America, why the hell are these political parties coveting the vote so damn much? Riddle me that. But here's this white woman. She's perplexed because there's been a lot of black Democratic women on the mic pulling back from their black alliance or their white alliances, right? They don't believe there's a coalition among the Democrats after all. All the struggle groups are not on code, and these black women are taking a break. So this white woman is perplexed because she's seeing all these TikToks of black women talking about their basically sticking to their own. They're not coalescing with anybody but their own. So what are you saying, lady?
Dear black women, so I did a video yesterday addressing specifically black women. So as a woman, we have blazed these trails together. We did this together. We need to stand together. Women, to include black women, got the right to vote after men. They're still leading the race. It's still not equal. Equality, equal pay. We still get less on the dollar. So why are you alienating a high percentage of allies? Like, why are you doing this? Separation will lead nowhere, and in the real world, aside from TikTok, we have to bargain together. We have to do this together. Why are you alienating? And what constitutes white? This is 2024, and most of us are blended. My family's blended. I have cousins that are married to beautiful black women or even black men. So there's a lot of mixed in my family. So if it's just a black pack, like where do you draw the line? Only certain black people? Because I have 2% Nigerian. Am I allowed in? I think we all should be allowed in because we're women. And this is our battle together. I don't know if you noticed, but the world is still being run by men.
I don't understand this. Black people are inferior. We are inferior. All right? We are inferior. We are low IQ. Right? We are lower on the totem pole. Why the hell you people want to ally with us? I don't understand that. What I don't understand is why do black people got to be a part of all these little things? Like, I really don't understand it. These people, they don't get on a mic and defend black intelligence. They don't get on a mic and defend black excellence. All they want to use us for is our might and our ability to fight and our intelligence to be able to fight good battles when we want to. But it's amazing to me. It is so amazing. I'm going to tell you, like, since 2020, I have never felt so inferior by white people. My mindset about many white people have changed, and anybody who's known me, they know I've been the worldliest of person when it came to people, right? But I feel like I have been in my little bubble, and I'm be honest, I don't look at all people, types of people, the same. It doesn't really matter what color you are, but I just don't. And I think that a lot of this is the Democratic propaganda machine, which fueled that Republican propaganda machine, right? And they just started working in tandem, right? So when Democrats were going hard on white guy bad, white guy this, white people that, white people that, the Republicans, they were on the other side, basically inflaming these white supremacists, and then they came out to play, and now was black people low IQ, black people this, black people that, black, and it wasn't just the men, it was the women too, right? So for me, I had since 2020, like, I've really been open to how many people in America rocks. And I know that there are a lot of good Americans of all colors who do not rock with this prejudice, racism, bigotry, victim junkie, and entitlement stuff. I know there's quite a few of us like that, but it's not many of us. This nation truly is racist, and racism is not racist. People of all colors are racist, not just white people, right? But the separatist mindset does come on board when you start seeing these faces of people reoccurringly bashing, talking about your community out the side of their necks, talking about your people out the side of your necks, talking about how their people are superior and how it's written in the Bible that white people are superior. It's like, are you kidding me? If you really understood the Bible is all about Semites, and Semites are not white. Okay? Semites are from Africa or the Middle East. They are the sons of Shem and Ham, not Japheth. I mean, you people are so weird to me. You don't know biblical history. You don't know American history. You're just running on ignorant ass supremacy. It's crazy to me. So for me, I will say that I'm not a separatist person, but I am a lot more cautious of people who I deal with. And I've always been like that, but I'm even more now. And I do, like, when I'm dealing with, like, let's say, like a white Democrat, there's been some reoccurring things that I've experienced with white Democrats. So I don't really like to be bothered with them to the extent that I need to. Like, I don't want to be friends with them because I think of people like that as double talking demons. And even on the Republican side, I don't really trust some of those people because, I mean, if you've seen the Republican grifters, they will use God to substantiate their dumb foolery. So, I just feel like I get tired of people addressing Black people, trying to get Black people to align with them. And yet I don't hear them on the mic defending Black people, even especially the intelligent ones, defending the fact that most white people are conditioned by the propaganda of the government to believe that all Black people universally are one way. Right? I don't hear people like that talking. She's not talking like that. She's like, come on, Black women, ally with our struggle.
Men
this
that
is the
love
women's
war and that love keeping us divided. So why would you want to divide yourselves? Women had nothing to do with slavery, literally.
Bullshit. Bullshit. See, this is where these people don't know their history. Women absolutely had a part in the devastations of some slavery, those experiences in slavery. How do you think so many of those families were broken apart? Because those white men were attracted to those black slaves. They were having babies with them, and their women couldn't stand that, so they separated the mother and the children, or sent the children away over on another plantation. The separation of black families started in slavery, and white women directly had something to do with that. And many of them did. So this is, to me, her trying to absolve, the history of white women's role in betraying black people in America. And it's just, it's insane to me. This is a cope.
Like nothing. I'm sure we were saying, hey, babe, this is pretty effed up because we're nurturing, we're loving.
No, y'all were saying it's pretty effed up that you fucked that slave and had a baby with him. That's what a lot of you women were saying back in slavery. So I don't know what this woman is talking about. This is why it's best, stop addressing people. Stop addressing black people. We are inferior. We are the lowest on the totem pole. Stop talking about us. Keep our names out of your mouths. We are out here just minding our business, working, trying to do normal. It's to me, I don't think black people should be aligning with anything that doesn't serve them, right? Anything. So everybody has their little cult or struggle group, and they should just stay there. Right? And I don't understand what all this alliance is from. The Democratic blacks are there is no coalition. They looked at how the numbers came out this election, and they were there is no coalition. So now these people are afraid because the black people are stepping back, and they're there is no coalition, because if black people are stepping back from the Democratic coalitions, it only means one thing. More of them are going to be stepping away from that wicked ass party.
Wrong. That was men. So why this hate on white women? What has a white woman? Because we're somewhat married?
I don't hate white women. I don't hate anybody. I hate wicked people. I definitely hate wicked people. I know a lot of good white women. They're not wicked people. They're servants of God. They're good people, But, there are some wicked ones, and I think that it's okay to separate yourself from the wicked ones.
Married to white men? My husband's not a racist, or we're Gen X. We grew up together. I went to school. I learned so much from the black culture because of desegregation.
Look, I don't believe this woman is racist at all. I think that, she's one of those hippie type of white women who's all about togetherness. And she's probably just perplexed by the rhetoric that is coming out of, certain groups of people post the election. But again, you're just going to have to let people settle down in their feelings. You heard the sister say that a lot of black women internalize Kamala's loss, right? They were thinking they were owed something, and somehow Kamala Harris being president was going to make all the things that went wrong in their life and black people's history right, because Kamala was going to be elected. Sad, but they're coping with that. So you got to just let these sisters cope. And obviously they're looking at Trump winning as a win for white supremacy, and the racist folks that have been on the mic. So, everybody's dealing with the outcome of the election. But I think that this is a good time for people to kind of step back and see what they're aligning with. And, maybe black women shouldn't be so outward, but they have a right to feel the way that they feel. Right now, they're not rocking with the white liberals. They're not trying to date your men. So guess what? Your men are safe, because the black women are on the mic saying that they're divesting from white guys again. So your men are safe, right? So you don't got to worry about that. White guys, you're safe from any black women coveting you, at least the black liberal women, because they're not checking for y'all for 4 years, right? So Trump got to get out of office before they'll check for you again. But the ones who voted for Trump, guess what? You guys got a chance, according to the one sister.
I loved it.
Who's now on the mic telling black women to date Trump supporters. These are some flip-floppy bras. First it was, yeah, we should get with some of them Democratic white boys, right? Right? Now they're losers. Now they're like, well, let's look at these MAGA guys. I mean, you got to think about your future, right? It's so and the MAGA guys once upon a time were the white supremacists. So these bitches are really crazy to me.
Rockin' a robin all night long, puffin' and we're doing the double dutch. Like I loved it, and we were friends. So I don't know what happened and why there's this divide, and especially when we all need each other.
I'll tell you why there's a divide, because first Barack Obama came in inflaming the black folks and reminding them about racism. And then Trump came in and inflamed the white folks for being called racist. So that's kind of what happened. So, yeah. Anyways, you guys, last thing I want to talk about, and this is really, really sad. Like, and I don't know if this is part of the Democratic cope strategy to just be out in these streets lying, right? But Whoopi Goldberg, and I'm pretty sure you guys heard this, Whoopi Goldberg had some, she's catching some fire again because she apparently fluffed a story about a bakery, right? And let me go here. And when I heard it, I'm like, why would the lady refuse to give you cupcakes?
You know what's in your cheap protein?
And I guess she was saying, she was making a point because of her political views that this particular business owner was rejecting her.
A lot of talk about the dessert I requested for my birthday show.
Yeah, there is, Whoopi. It's making headlines. So before I do the Friday update.
Okay, dude. Okay.
The dessert today was one of my mom's favorites from when she was a kid. And she talked about these all the time. They're called Charlotte Russe.
Yeah, the dessert is sponge cake with whipped
milk. Refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? Oh,
No. One bitch spits it out.
No.
Yes. Sarah Haynes.
Their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them.
But someone.
Okay, and Whoopi knew what she was doing. Number one, the Democrats, like some people don't know how to lose. And part of that coping game is starting to like point fingers and try to play the victim any way you can, right? So obviously, Whoopi, a huge Kamala Harris supporter, advocate, right? She's coping, right? And so obviously with this Trump win, the Democrats are narrating America and Americans as fascist, racist, misogynist, all of that good jazz, right? So they need to start the narratives about that, right? They got to get those going, right? Because Trump's going to be inaugurated. So they need to get sound bites and experiences on everything. So I feel like this is Whoopi's way of kicking off the racism stuff, right? It's like, I went to this bakery and they refused me, right? And,
They recognize deep. Who are you and where are we?
They refused her. And I guess these people, she tried to be vague about
politics.
Yeah. Now, Whoopi.
So she tried to be vague about who this bakery was. But obviously, people's packaging tells the story. If I'm looking at The View, I recognize Whoopi Goldberg is coming into my bakery and buying my cupcakes. I have regular customers, right? So they recognize my packaging, right? So they're talking about these cupcakes on a View, and she's trying to, state this narrative that she was refused because of political positions or whatever. She was trying to be very vague about this. And obviously, anybody watching that show who has gone to that bakery, who has ordered from that bakery, even if she's not saying the name of the bakery, they know exactly whose cupcakes those are based off of the packaging or the branding more times than not. So the lady who, I guess, owns the bakery, she came out, she was like, shoot, I'm just going to out myself, because at this point, I'm pretty sure she did the order for The View. That was probably a very exciting order for her bakery. Like, oh my God, This is in order for review. It's Whoopi Goldberg. And she probably told some folks too. So imagine, her surprise looking at that show and hearing Whoopi basically say that she was being discriminated against for whatever reason. So this poor woman had to come out. I think she even had legal counsel, because it's like you really borderline defamation and liable, even though she didn't give the name of the company. She could still, they could still state the case for, people could recognize the lady's packaging or whatever. I don't know. But they need to be careful doing stuff like that, because they're playing with small businesses. Obviously, this is not some big corporation bakery. This is a small business that's been around forever, right? And to me, I think a review like that on national TV is something that would more so hurt the business. And I think Whoopi knew what she was doing when she did that. I think that was very intentional. I'm not sure what her experience really was with this company. Maybe they did, show some type of disdain for her. A lot of people don't like the women from The View. I'm sure if I saw Whoopi, I wouldn't be excited to see Whoopi Goldberg if I just saw her somewhere. I'd just be like, oh, that's Whoopi Goldberg. And I would keep it moving, because she's not exciting for me. Once you start seeing how these double talking demons work, you really stop fanaticizing about any of these people. If we've learned anything from Diddy and Epstein, we should not be fanaticizing about anybody in this world, because you never know how they roll, who they're rolling with, and what levels of baby oil that, they've had all over their body and in circumstances. So you said, that show, I agree. When I listen, I don't look at The View. I always catch clips of The View. And every time I'm seeing clips of The View, it's always some regular person talking about how absurd their takes are. I think that, when you peel back the layers of some of the things that they say, they are like undercover racists. You know how they talk about soft bigotries? These people, they literally, spew soft bigotries on air in the name of victimhood, right? And a lot of times these people are not victimized. You know what I mean? They would try to make themselves seem like regular people. And it's like, regular people don't make $5 million, $6 million a year. Joy Behar makes more than Whoopi, I believe. You know what I mean? So these broads on The View are making multiple millions a year. They're not in any place to talk about regular people and what they should be doing and regular people things. These are Hollywood snobs. You know what I mean? Just running off at their mouth. That's why people call them talking hands. But from what I see, MSNBC is not doing very well. A lot of their shows are plummeting and tanking. And I guess and I even saw a lot of these liberal bloggers, they're freaking out because their subscriptions are going down. And it's like, you lie to people. You sit up there and you try to cheerlead a bag of bullshit to your audience. And then the outcome of the election was what it was. It's like, these people have proven themselves not to be very trustworthy. And that's the whole thing. So you said, who cares what race Harris is? Honestly, what does it matter? Why don't you ask the Democratic Party? Because they put her race and gender on the damn table, David. You guys want to run around talking about who cares now. Ask the party that was leveraging the race and gender card to get her brownie points with the public. Like, you people act like y'all just oblivious to how the Kamala Harris card played out all this damn time. They puppeted that damn woman to the very end, using her race and her damn gender. Very end. So using her. Sorry, I can't look at the chat on my phone. I don't even know if y'all really, it's not going. So let me put that there. But she isn't black. Well, we knew that. I think a lot of people knew that. Even Kamala knew that. And I wasn't buying that whole blackifying that they were doing to her, because again, how you come out just acting like you just super black, you went to a HBCU, you pledge in the historically black sorority, and you walk out with a non-black husband in the end. I don't get it. none of it was adding up for me personally, but I'm like, all right, just let it all play out. Let it all play out. You said Kamala has multiple personalities. She do, down to her damn name. And I actually had people coming up in my chat talking about say her name right. I'm like, she won't even say her damn right. And her name right. I mean, it's like when you're around black people, you this name. When you're around white people, you pronounce it this way. When you're around the East Asians, you pronounce it this way. It's like, don't tell me to say her name right. She's not even doing it. So it's insane to me. You said, Jeff said, read a book. Jeff, go sit your ass down somewhere. I read plenty of books. Stop assuming. Go sit your assuming ass down somewhere. I can't stand these ignorant Democrats. They just come up in here making statements. Just dumbasses. All right, let me stop. I'm trying to be nice. I'm working on myself. All right. Why do black women hate us black men so much? I don't hate black men, and the black women that I'm around, they don't hate black men at all. Yeah. So, yes, we are all humans, but unfortunately, we live in the West. And unfortunately, the West likes to create little construct groups and condition their people to be in those groups. And then what they like to do is play chess with those construct groups and divide them so that they can leverage these people and short squeeze them. It's just a big old mess that's been going on for centuries now. So it is what it is, man. But you are wrong on the Democrat Republican. Both parties suck. How am I wrong? I say that all the time, Carlos. I've never ever said that one party was better than the other. I've always said both of those parties are screwed up. I've always said that this is a politically neutral channel. I've always said that I don't identify with either one of those politics. So, not sure what you're talking about. I think that people should be politically neutral. And I've said this several times, but you go with the devil that you know. You said, I wish we could just come together on a common ground and vote together as a whole. I mean, we're all different people, and I think it's unreasonable to believe that imperfect humans are going to agree. I think that we can come up with a common ground with a lot of deviation. You said, I love all men, not just black men. That's good for you. That is good for you. I mean, there's some people that feel that way. I mean, I know people who are very comfortable interracially dating. And, that's their business and not mine. It don't have nothing to do with me. Well, I mean, when you're saying people come together on common ground, it's like, first of all, we don't come from common backgrounds to come together on common ground. So even if we do come together on some level of common ground, there's still going to be slight deviation because people come from different ideological and cultural backgrounds. So, I mean, that's just self-explanatory. It's okay to have your beliefs in your party, but don't claim to be neutral. I don't agree with that, Carlos. I believe neutrality is definitely a good way to be. That way you can see all sides of something with a lot of pragmatism and objectivity. So I don't believe in being a lemon to anything. I believe in independent thinking, and I live by the code of individualism. Any Ayn Randists in the house? Any Ayn Randists in the house? I believe in the code of individualism. It keeps you truly intelligent and smart. All right, not, it's for me, did not want. Samuel, hello? Ich kann Deutsch, right? Do you speak English? Because my German is a little rusty. Kein Deutsch. I love Ayn Rand too, Katie. Or is it Kaylee? Kaylee, sorry, I got my glasses on. Yes, I mean, and here's the thing. I like her philosophies, right? I can take somebody's ideas and their philosophies and agree with them without agreeing with who they are as a person. I've had people say Ayn Rand was a Satanist. She was this. I'm like, I don't care what that woman was. She made some great points in terms of her ideas about objectivism, individualism, and capitalism. So I definitely, and Atlas Shrugged was a really, to me, that was prophetic. Atlas Shrugged was like 1984. It's like, how did they know that we were going to progress into being what we are right now? Because it seemed like, to me, there was a lot of predictions in Atlas Shrugged. And if you see how the United States is panning out, I actually heard, what was her name? Rachel Maddow. She was talking about Elon Musk. And she was just ranting about Elon's involvement in possibly influencing how the election played out. And she was saying something to the effect, it was almost like she was threatening Elon or trying to put the pressure on Elon by saying, the federal government has a lot of contracts with Tesla and SpaceX and all these things, right? And, we're going to have to reevaluate this. Either we're going to have to, the government's going to have to detach, itself from Elon Musk, or we're going to have to detach Elon from his companies. That is some fascist shit to say. So, I mean, it's one of those things to me where these people are double talking demons, because the very things that they say that they're against, they talk about it in their little rants. Like, I mean, that was literally when she said that about Elon. I'm like, that took me back to that Atlas Shrugged, right? Reardon Steele. Remember Henry Reardon in the book Atlas Shrugged, right? How Henry Reardon had all of those companies, and slowly but surely the government was short squeezing him out of his companies. These people, like, I'm telling y'all need to look at Atlas Shrugged. That was good, because I'm talking about, if you want to talk about some predictive programming, that book is some predictive programming. Let's see, double. I didn't call nobody the N word in German. Get your fire starting ass off of my line with that, or you will get blocked. I didn't sound neutral. Why didn't I sound neutral? I talk about both sides. Like, this conversation is about Black women losing their minds and their identities over Kamala Harris's loss. But I kind of go into everything. I talk about everything and everybody. I get busy with the Republican Party. I get busy with the Democrats. But the Democrats, like I've said, they've been going too much. Am I trans? No, I'm not trans. Is your mom trans? Beware of the wolves in sheep's clothing. There's a lot of those people in government. That's why I don't have my faith in government like some people. So let me get Carlos Zionist ass off my block. You don't belong here. Bye, Carlos. Anyways, thank you for your input. I'm new to being being understanding is important, right? You get to understand, different positions. The Democrats have done a good job of censoring and shutting people out. And that is why they are losing so damn bad. And they're probably not going to recover for a long damn time if they don't. You said you don't support trans. Why would I support that? That don't have nothing to do with me. What am I supporting them with? Like, you people sound dumb as hell. Do you support trans? What does that mean? Right? Like, I don't understand. That's like asking me, do I support male people? It's like, they deliver my mail. I support people not messing with the mailman, right? I support people. Like, you talking about lifestyles versus people. I support people. Like, I'm not going to just sit there and just like watching somebody get attacked or antagonized. I'm going to do what I need to do to step in or whatever. And that doesn't matter if you're a dude dressed like a chick or not. right? But support trans specifically, y'all sound dumb. Like, I don't understand that at all. Y'all just need you. What you're asking me really is, will I enable somebody who thinks that they are a woman? Will I enable them to believe that? And the answer is no. Especially if your ass look like a strong jaw defensive lineman with makeup and a dress on. Hell no. I mean, if you look like you should play for the Steelers, and you out here with a dress and makeup on, and you just need me to support you thinking that you're a woman, get out of here with that. You're not gonna confuse me because you confused. Stop playing with people. This is where the Democrat messed up now. And screw LinkedIn, because they literally restricted my LinkedIn account, messed up my business prospects because I changed my pronouns to common sense. They let broads change their profiles to unicorn, fairy, she, her, it, and him, they, and that, tad and pole. But when I changed my pronouns to common sense, LinkedIn decided that they wanted to restrict my account. But LinkedIn was already on me, right? Because they hate hearing Black people talk objectively, right? When I think about the real supremacists and how they operate in this nation, they really, they flex their supremacy through these private companies. You know what I mean? And yes, we know that you're a private company. You can do whatever you want to do. That doesn't necessarily mean that people have to like you, right? And if Anheuser-Busch taught us anything, people can get busy if you just really want to keep playing with us like that. So stop playing with people. But anyways, I've never been a lemming to a bandwagon of any ignorance, but I do feel like I understand the American political and social and political landscape a lot more these days. I literally made it my mission to study people and study all of this stuff and how it impacts people and how it just plays with their mind, right? How we can be coexisting and peaceful one second, and then the next second somebody throws up 1960s racism, and now we're all divided and hating each other. That shit came on like that, okay? That shit came on like that, all right? And we should never forget how these psychological operations of the government. You said blah, 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 Ronnie Forward, get your ass off my channel. Bye. Block. Anytime people come up with that dumbass shit, you're going to get blocked. Because it's like, didn't nobody tell your ass to come on this channel. You made the executive decision to come here. So you're not going to come here with that nonsense, or you're going to get insulted and then blocked. We hurt feelings unapologetically over here. Any of my mods in here hurt a feeling and then block their asses. All right. But as I was saying, we have to, I feel like, this nation, they leverage these racial categories when it is convenient. And we've seen the Democratic Party play the race card the absolute most. And I think that's why this nation is divided. I am blaming it on the Democrats, because even the racist ass Republicans that were dormant did not come out to play until they started just leveraging these race cards. So that's how I feel. Democrats do better. Democrats do better. You said I don't have any sound? You guys can't hear this? Or is this just a troll? You said you can't hear anything? Okay, so these are just trolls, special trolls. Okay, you can hear me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Rick, Adrian. Thank you, my loves. We always got those special trolls. I need to get some more moderators for real. I need some more mods, because I do come on at different times, and you know how it be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But you guys, I just wanted to come on and just do this quick live stream. I wish we could stop talking about race. I wish that we could just be people, and especially if you're a child of God, I wish we could just be children of God, regardless of, constructs, With my true believers, my fellow believers, my brothers and sisters are of all colors and of all nations. Because again, that's what Israel, God's people, are. We are people of all nations. And so those are my people. I can't account for the Satanists. I can't account for their little demonic mindsets, you know. I don't believe in racial divisions, but I do believe that people should have the proper context about these conversations and they should operate with sensitivities. These conversations have been leveraged against Americans for centuries. And they found little creative ways to keep us hyper conscious of these things. And I said back in 2020, there's no reason why America has gotten this damn prejudice. Like somebody brought that out of people. And I think that we can't deny that. We need to acknowledge it. And then if you truly hate those types of mindsets, if they're an eyesore to your group or your community, you need to check those people. Y'all see how I get busy with these trolls in my chat? You got to check these people. We cannot normalize racism. You know, and some people, they're too scared to say something like, oh, you know, I'm not going to say anything. But it's like, you're the reason why this shit keep going on. You know, absolutely. Prayer works, Adrian. I agree with you. I pray for everybody. I even pray for my enemies. I pray that they get that hate and that devil out of their heart so that God can give them true blessings and peace. Some of these people, they're chaotic because they got the devil in them. You got the devil in them. You got to get the devil out of your heart. You know, the fruitages of God's spirit is love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, mildness, what? Self-control, right? Galatians 5:22 and 23. And it says, against such things, there is no law. So God is saying that there is no law if you do not have these things. So imagine if we had a society of people that were comprised of the fruitages of the spirit. We wouldn't have so many problems. We really won't. But because the devil got a lot of these people's hearts and minds in a chokehold, you know, this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. So anyways, you said there is no God, get over it. It's so funny because you say that there's no God, get over it, but you get on a mic, you type that, and then you do all these emojis. Apparently you do believe there's a God, because nobody would waste their time to type something that they didn't believe was not true, right? So we see you, demon. We see you, devil, and we rebuke you. We rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Keep your prayers up. God's kingdom is almost here. Y'all, you don't have to believe in God, right? Be like those people in the days of Noah, right? They were eating, drinking, marrying, women getting married, given in marriage, and they took no note until the flood came and swept them all away. Oh, by the way, you guys, let me tell you something. I understand the light is getting brighter, all right? I understand why they omitted these books. I understand it. If they would included these books in the canonical, I truly do believe that the control and the power of the church would be weakened. That's all I'm going to say about that, right? It would be weakened. And people would really understand the divine order of things. You said, I'm Frank Henderson, get your trolling ass off my block. Bye. All right. I would check out that, you know, just check it out. Check it out. Check it out. I got the real Bible. I got my Old Testament, my New Testament. But again, I don't believe that the Old Testament and the New Testament are complete. I believe that there are aspects of the translation and what has been accepted. And I believe that there have been a lot of omissions. And I think that the truest, to me, the truest version of the Holy Scriptures is going to be found in the Ethiopian Bible. I truly do believe that. So, me personally, I'm just kind of following the code of the Ethiopians on this. And the one good thing about the Ethiopians is that they were very much removed from Rome. And so while Rome was busy defiling Christianity or the Abrahamic faith, Ethiopia did not have that influence. And so a lot of their versions is truer to the Septuagint. And I'm going to just go ahead and follow their version of the Bible. So everybody do what you want to do, but I want my light to be as bright as possible. And there's a couple of prophecies that I want to have more clarity on. I'm really into the Bible prophecies, and there was a couple of aspects of understanding I needed to expand on. And so I'm hoping that I would get them from this. So you guys, you said nothing was omitted. You can believe that, my dear. I do believe, just based off of my deep dive and studies, and I've read the Bible at least 2.5 times, that it's incomplete and that the clergy has been lying to people. I am not associated with any organized religions because majority of them have been taken over by Satan, in my opinion. And so I'm a disciple of Christ. And so disciples, we learn and we teach. That is what we do. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.